on this hangout, this Google Hangout. This is something we hope to do about once a month, just to try to keep in touch with the supporters groups and make sure that you guys get a forum to share your message with people who might not be paying attention to you in your regular social media platforms. So if you didn't get it, I sent out a list of the questions, but I'll tell you, the format. We just have a couple of questions that we wanted to, have you guys all answer. Give every group an opportunity to answer the questions, and then if there's some conversation that comes up between the groups, then we welcome that as well. So why don't we get started? Why don't you all introduce yourselves to everyone else, because this is something that's obviously going to be available on our YouTube page for people to view afterwards.
Sure.
So, Rox, you want to start with you?
No. Why you pick me first, man? Ladies first.
Elliot, that's you. Elliot.
Oh, dang.
All right, so I guess I go first.
Well, yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about Los Templados?
All right. So I'll take the initiative. If you guys don't know me already, my name is Elliot Montalvan, or Elliot Mont on Facebook. I guess I'm representing the Templados in this roundtable. And what else? What else do I have to say?
That's good for now.
Oh, great, cool.
Ladies, you want to introduce yourselves?
Kaylee. Emma. Blue Ladies. That's it.
And last but not least?
I'm Rox Fontaine, president of Third Rail SC.
Yo, Rox, can you whenever you talk, can you like not be so close to the mic just because you sound a little raspy? I'm not, just out of respect.
I sound raspy. I'm not
Like you mad loud. Or maybe it's just me. All right, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, you good.
All right, so why don't we start again with the ladies? Blue Ladies, why don't you tell us a little bit about your group? Maybe tell us when you formed, and describe your members.
The other half is dying.
Feel better.
We are the Blue Ladies. We're the Blue Ladies. We are a supporters group of NYCFC. All females, all ladies. We've been around as the group we are, or that we like to represent now, for like a year? Yeah, a year. But the Blue Ladies has been around for like 16 months.
All right, Elliot, you want to go on? Tell us about Los Templados.
So Los Templados was founded, I want to say March 27th of last year. So we're actually celebrating our 1-year anniversary of Templados. Very
Bring
soon.
a cake.
Yeah, I got you. If it's orange. So we're basically a supporters group. Well, actually, they would bash me if I said that. We're not a supporters group. We're a family, and we basically are a bunch of family members that want to cheer on New York City, and we do it for 90 minutes, and we do it from the minute we get there to the minute we leave, and we don't stop. And even on away games, we don't stop. And everything Spanish, English chants. You want French chants, we'll learn them. So we're just like we're trying to create an atmosphere wherein we are cheering for a team, but we're doing it in a way where we don't care who the players are. We're just there, to support New York City FC in that sense. You can always see us in orange. We're playing drums. We're nonstop. That's what we do. we're a family in that sense.
Thanks. And Rox?
The third rail is the first officially recognized supporters group of New York City Football Club. We are an inclusive organization. We are also dues-based. We share many of the components of the other social groups and supporters groups. We have membership not only in the tri-state area but around the world. We currently have a membership in the 1,000 range. Yeah, that's about it. It's a great place to be. Lots of fun events. We do also charity work around the club. We do social media stuff. That's a huge component of our identity. We have an absolutely massive following across Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Over 30,000 at present. 11,000 alone on Twitter. So we're pretty big. Actually, third or fourth largest in the league at present by numbers. And we're continually looking to grow, improve our presence in the stadium, and grow the game of soccer in the United States, and especially in New York City.
So I appreciate that. You know, you mentioned that you're dues-based. The next question was was about asking what makes your group unique from other groups. So that might be one of the biggest differences. I don't believe that Blue Ladies or Los Templados are dues-based.
No.
Nope.
So for Blue Ladies or Los Templados, do you guys have an actual number of members?
Currently, right now, Blue Ladies sits at 74 members.
Templados has like about 35 to 40.
Okay, so much smaller groups than the third rail.
Yeah.
Fairly.
So what else besides being officially recognized? What else delineates third rail from the other two groups?
Taxes, filings, budget.
I guess structure would be another thing, right?
Absolutely structure. Absolutely structure. Bylaws. There's a lot to the process. Accounting is very different. So I mean, like if you look at just member management, like forget everything else. Managing 1,000 members and continually growing is a task in and of itself. And in order to ensure that members are receiving the benefits that they're paying for, that they're getting the experience that they're paying for, requires that we have a process in place that accurately keeps track of member numbers, member locations, and not for any tracking purposes, but so that if we send out a scarf or a member card, or if we want to direct people towards chapters, we have information on where the members are. So that whole process in and of itself can't really be managed in something as simple as a spreadsheet. So we have a platform that we pay for that allows us to accurately manage our member information. And one of the unique things about our platform is that it also gives the members themselves access to the platform so they can manage their own member information. As of right now, and this is fact, I verified it at the ISC conference in Chicago in February, we are the only supporters group that has a platform like that right now.
So that's good information to build on. So let me go to the other two groups. How do you know? So you track. You both said you have membership numbers, but what does that mean? How does someone become a member of? Let's start with the Blue Ladies. How does somebody become a member, and how do you track that they're an active member?
Well, we send a link to a questionnaire for them to fill out all of their information, and we have that, like, just email and where they're from, stuff, nothing too intensive, and then they're added to our group. and keep track of numbers that way. And that's where we have the ladies. We have also like where they sit in the stadium, so we know where we have ladies around the stadium, so we can go make sure that they're equally involved.
And like we ask for birth dates so we can schedule accordingly if there's like minors or anything that can't come into bars and stuff.
Okay. Elliot, you want to take a crack at the? How do you guys track membership in Los Templados?
Templados, we don't. How do we say we track members? We we get, because we're such low in numbers, I guess if you want to say it that way. Since we're like maybe 35 or 40, we anybody comes to us asking about can we join Templados, we basically just tell them, yeah, sure, we're open to anybody, and we the only thing we ask is that you come around, show your face, hang with us at tailgates, hang with us during the games where we stand. If we have any events that we're doing off on the side, just come about. The other thing that we ask is that you understand what it means to, be on your feet and stand and jump and play and sing for 90 minutes straight, maybe even through halftime. So it's not so much as like we don't have a rubric or a criteria where we check you off. It's not like that. We just basically ask that you understand what it means to be a Templado, and that we're all supporting each other, but we're all supporting the team, and we don't stop doing that. So that's basically.
So then, Elliot, let me ask you a follow-up question. Does that mean that, in your understanding, that most of the Templados are in the supporters section? Because the Blue Ladies and the Third Rail, they might have a majority of their members in the supporters section, but they could also be spread out throughout the stadium.
We, from my knowledge of being Templado, we're all in the supporter section. So we're all standing together in a bunch. So you'll see us standing together. We try to have everybody together as much as we can. Even during away games, we'll have everybody together as much as we can. So we're all in the supporter section. I don't know of any Templado that's off in another section, and if they are, we try to bring them over. 237, around there.
And then, Rox, another question for you. Can you just, as you mentioned the Third Rail, can you talk about the Third Rail Light? Is that a part of your group, or do they have separate memberships?
The light rail is a part of our group. We look at them as the same as Third Rail. They're just under 21. Their function is separate. I'm actually in the process of looking for U21 leadership, because at present we have one of our board members spearheading all of light rail projects, and I'm not one to really think that 30 and 40-year-old people should be deciding what's cool for 15 and 16-year-olds. So their process is in conjunction with the Third Rail, but separate from. And only in that all of their events, and parties, and charity work will be specific to U21 interests. So if they wanted to do something like, say, for Ronald McDonald House, like that's not something I would have Third Rail do on their own. I would give that to Light Rail to maybe not entirely handle on their own, but they would be the face of it, and we would support them in learning how charity works and how to support a charity initiative.
All right, thanks. So, let's segue into the next question, because that's one of the things that was on the list that I had sent out. Kaylee, credit to you, because you've had the most recent event that actually, I guess there was something right before the home opener, but let's talk about the community involvement events that you guys have done. Let's go back to the Blue Ladies, because Kaylee, I was highlighting your dodgeball event.
Dodgeball. Yeah, dodgeball was probably outside of actual like game experiences. Dodgeball was the most fun I've had with the supporters, I think ever.
Yes, definitely.
ever. It wasn't as many teams as we could have hoped for, for the donation for SBU, but it was a really good foundation and, know what to build off of for, the next event. It might not be dodgeball. It might be like somebody suggested kickball or like what was it, indoor soccer or, something like that. But our, we, like to do the charity events for Blue Ladies. Um, we did the breast cancer walk, we did the baby shower, those were all really, kind of feminine based events, but, in the future we're going to do the, was it the running of the balls for testicular cancer? That's in
I'm sorry. Anyways.
That's in June around Father's Day. There's other stuff that we're looking into, but that's, dodgeball. Because it was all the supporters coming together just to do something for fun. It was for SBU, which, everybody is involved with. I mean, I don't know who specifically did it last summer, but the match that everybody went to for SBU before one of the games, it was nice to be involved with that, and then, to be able to donate more money towards them, and then, to talk about maybe SBU becoming the official Blue Ladies charity, that, that we would do stuff for is pretty cool also.
So then, Elliot, have there been any community events that you guys have?
To be completely honest, Nampalos has not done any community events. When it came to I don't want to say charity, but we were helping out a friend of ours who was sick last season. So we all raised money to help him out in his how do you say, his medical bills when he was having trouble. Mm-hmm. So as part of our family, we helped him out. In terms of community event, we haven't done anything for community, but we are planning to, whenever we do a banner. So I work for a Children's Aid Society, and we have a lot of sites in and around Harlem and New York City, and we're trying to do where we outline our banner or whatever future banner that we might have, and bring it over to the kids during their after-school programs or whatever. Bring it over to the site, and so that they can paint it. It's kind of something that I'm putting up actually in the works right now. I have to talk to some people from within that, but that's what it is. But in terms of money and anything, we helped out our family member. Actually, it was Pete Vasquez in any case, but we helped him out in that. And we're planning other stuff in the future. So it'll definitely be said once we're ready to go.
And then Rox, tell us about the programs that you've been involved with.
So most of our charity is starting for the 2016 season. We developed a relationship with BronxWorks through our new director of charitable donations, Brenda Canister. She set up a relationship with BronxWorks, and their organization is fantastic for us because they have more than one function. In addition to senior services, they have family programs, immigration services. They do stuff with workforce development, a whole bunch of different things. So it will allow us to support different initiatives with the same organization. For the home opener, we did a canned food drive for senior support, which was fantastic. If people visit our Instagram page, they'll see a photo of the total donation. There were like 5 large plastic bins full of canned goods, other non-perishables, which we thought was fantastic. So that's been our first initiative for the year, and we will continue to do more as the season progresses. I'm not sure what the next one is, but I know there are plans for some 5K runs. So one other thing I can't remember right now, but this year will be big as far as charity, where it was not at all last season.
So let's go back to last Sunday. Let's talk about the home opener. Why don't you, aside from the charity and fundraising events, let's just talk about what you guys did to kind of get your groups excited, get your membership ready, and get everyone ready, excited for first home game for NYCFC. Blue Ladies, you want to take that one first?
We had a wedding.
Yeah. Well, we started with a brunch.
Yeah, we have
always
brunch.
have our brunches before. We went to Smithfield Hall, and during the West Ham and
Manchester game, yeah.
match, so we were watching soccer and brunching, and then we went back up to the Bronx for the wedding.
Had a bachelorette party at Dugout.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
National party at the tailgate.
You had the yeah. We divided the bride and groom up. Mostly we had to calm May down because she was like having a heart attack, ready to read off what is it? The ceremony stuff. And it was just, it was really nice to see Terza all excited and stuff. May was probably more nervous than she was. Yeah, it was really cool to do that, and it was probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of as I've probably had a match before. You can't often say, hey, I watched somebody get married under Lou Gehrig. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
How about you, Elliot? What did the Templados do besides the tailgate?
So we did the tailgate. We did the bachelor party for the groom side. What else did we do? We provided the soundtrack for his march. We provided the visuals and the displays for the banners, the new banners that we made. The flags that my boy Juan, he just made a new Templados flag. We made a couple of mini tifos, mini little banners for NYCFC and for Templados. And we provided, with the help of hooligans, we provided smoke. So we really hyped him up. You should have seen the look on his face. He looked really nervous, hiding behind his sunglasses. But it worked. He was very happy. It was a lot of fun, and even after they said their I do, we were continuing with soundtrack and visuals and whatever. And then shortly after we went in and we did the thing for the game.
And then Rox, so, I gotta, before you answer the question, gotta give you credit for the flagpoles, because that was something that I know the fans had been hoping for right from the beginning, and it was great to actually see them getting used, and it was also great that they were spread out. It was not that it was just in one section, that you had done the right thing and given a couple of to each group.
If I had more to distribute, I would, but it wasn't my decision to make. I mean, we absolutely fought for flagpoles, period, but the allotment was not my decision. We got 20. I was like, I'll take 20 over nothing. And since there were 20 and we have 4 sections, it just made sense to split up 5 per section. It fundamentally worked out to 10 for third rail and then 10 split amongst the other groups that sit in either 235 or 238. And they decided for themselves how they wanted to divvy those up. But I too was excited. Any progress with Yankee Stadium is a major win, because it's such a rigid place and they have an entirely different set of rules. It's not like any other place in the country, the world maybe. It's just very, very strict. So those 20 flagpoles was a huge achievement, and we're really glad that the club was able to advocate for us and get that allotment.
So what other things did the third rail do preparing for the home opener?
Our biggest task was distribution of the 2016 member scarf. So we ordered and gave away. We ordered 1,000 scarves. We actually distributed on opening day upwards of 700. So if you've seen photos on the club's Facebook page of the third rail scarves in the stands, that was our absolute objective. Is we wanted to show that our numbers are fine, the state of the third rail is strong, and we are continually growing and improving as an organization. So it's something we're super, super proud of, and it's only going to get better. We also had our pregame party at Billy's. That was absolutely insane. The numbers there were far and away above anything we had imagined. The outdoor deck at Billy's was completely packed. We probably had somewhere between 400 and 500 on the floor inside, but that place is so big that you couldn't even really tell. But it was absolutely high energy, loud music. We also did a $5 all-you-can-eat buffet. We gave out some stickers. As I said, we did our canned food drive in there as well. So it was great energy all around, lots of people mingling, drinking, having a good time all before game time. And then once we got into the stadium, it was all systems go. So it was really, really fantastic. We had a great time.
Sounds like a great time. So let's move forward because
Also, I forgot, we also put a Snapchat geo filter over Billy's on River Avenue, which we thought was great. So people were taking snaps and using the third rail logo on it. Not logo, but we did like just a simple graphic with lightning bolts on the side that said "We are third rail." So we got pretty good response for that as well. It's really nice.
so let's move ahead because we've got 3 home games in a row coming up. So what is first one's tomorrow, and then we got next week and the week after that. So what are you guys thinking? What's the plans? Is there tifo for tomorrow? But then for the other guys, what are you guys working on for the next couple of home games?
There is no tifo for tomorrow. It's just too soon to do a new tifo. What we are doing is we're taking the opening day tifo, and since Billy's is such a large space, we're going to hang it, both panels inside of Billy's. So people coming to party with Third Rail on Friday, or people who just want to see the tifo actually flat and not flat vertically, not horizontally, can drop by and see it. It'll be hanging. And you'll see just text banners. So I think the Welcome to New York in French banner will be back, and there may be one other smaller one. I don't really work too closely with the tifo team, just because I have so much other stuff going on all the time. But I know that Welcome to New York one will be there again.
And you're having so it sounds like you're also is the pregame party at Billy's going to be before every home game?
Yes.
Ladies, how about you? What do you got scheduled for the home game next for tomorrow night?
I guess before, I mean, it's a really, it's hard to do because, most of us work. I know I work in Midtown. I'm not probably going to be able to get out of work early, but I'll shoot right up to the stadium. The Blue Ladies will be at the tailgate tomorrow. Then we'll be at the tailgate probably from now on, before every home match.
Before every home match, we probably will do a brunch and then
Brunch,
do a
tailgate.
and then
Yeah.
All right. Elliot, I guess the tailgate is where Templados get ready?
Tailgate is Templados. So we start the tailgate. We have everybody come into the tailgate, and our plan is normally the same. Our plan is the same for every game. We tailgate, we march, banners, music, flags, and we chant like if it's the last game, basically all the time. So that's our plan. That's always been our plan. We're updating our banners as we go from, we're updating our flags as we go from. We're also updating our song, the list, our chants, how we play them is definitely something that we're practicing on as well. So that's things that we're planning. We're also working closely with New York City Supporters Club, which is the new up and coming club that's supporters club that's happening right now. So in conjunction with them and under the umbrella, we are trying to form a more united front for supporters in the section, and make the sound of our voices and the chants more solid. So that's our plan, which actually reminds me that I actually wanted to thank Rox for helping us out last season with the drums, because it was his doing and his group that allowed us to play all last season. So I take my hat off to you, and thank you for that as well. And yeah, so basically that's our thing.
So let's talk about the chants for a couple minutes, because there's one of the things that's one of the things that unites everybody, is that you're there trying to sing, trying to cheer. Where does is it really come from the Templados, or where does the tempo or the choice of the chants come from, or the set list, I guess?
We have I wouldn't want to say we have a set schedule for what song comes up. We have the Templados guys who play the drums. Lady, I should say, there is our one of our Templados is a woman, Carol, who plays one of the snares. So we have I would say me, my good friend Edwin, and people who decide they want to step up to get chants going. So I feel like that's what we're working with New York City Supporters Club, wherein there's a bunch of us together, Templados included. I think hooligans are also included. Rotten apples are definitely included. I feel like you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I think blue ladies are included as well. So we're definitely solidifying our front in that sense. And when it comes to having people start things, we definitely use the help of everybody when that comes around. And then the drums follow with the chants. So that works out as well, especially with the new upgrades we got. So that's another thing I want to thank Rux for, the upgrades on the drum, because they're pretty cool band looking. So we look official in that sense.
So, Rox, from a third rail perspective, how do you coordinate with the chanting and getting groups? I know that originally there was a decision not to have capos or capos to lead the chants, that you really wanted to be more organic. But with the drums and the Templados, does it make sense, or have you thought about how you're going to coordinate the section so you can all sing the same cheer or learn cheers?
I don't. I did in the beginning. When I first became president, that was one of my priority things. But as of right now, I have nothing to do with songs and chants.
Is there someone from the third rail who has that responsibility, or is it just
Yes, our director of fan experience, Alex Viastis, he was working on a plan that was kind of started by me. My idea was to have representation from all of the supporters groups on one team that specifically worked on songs and chants, kind of independent of everyone else. And I presented it to everyone. It was received in various ways. Ultimately, I don't know what happened. So as far as I know right now, there is a team that is comprised of people from various supporters groups that is working on songs and chants. But beyond that, I don't know. I don't deal with it at all.
So, Elliot, do you know who Rox was referring to? Say the name again, Rox.
Alex?
Alex. Have you worked with Alex from the Third Rail?
We not closely. I feel like the first time I started working with Alex was last Sunday, when he had drums and he distributed drums. So when it came to that sense, we were like, "Oh, hi! Finally, nice to put a name to a face." And we worked with him in that sense. I feel like moving forward, we will probably work with him a lot more, just because of his position and where he stands and what he does. So we'll probably be seeing his face a lot more. But that's, I guess, in terms of like relationships in that sense, that's probably what that will be.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a good starting point for you guys to work well in the future, and because it does seem with Third Rail having the largest membership that if you wanted to get something spread, like a new chant or a song spread throughout the group, it seems like that'd be a good place to get the information out there as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we are. I feel like whenever we come up with a new chant, we're definitely distributing the information, so nobody gets left behind in that. If we're not doing it, if we're not putting chants down on paper and sending them out, we're definitely doing them ourselves and recording ourselves and then posting them so that people can hear them and see how they play. And then when it comes time to actually sing them, we do it and have everybody follow along. So it's a lot of teamwork that we have within Templados. A lot of how do I say? I mean, a lot in the off season we practice a hell of a lot to try to get things down packed. So yeah.
So Blue Lays, any comments on the chants or being involved with the song selection, or things that you'd like to hear more or things that you'd like to hear less?
I mean, the season just started, and I'll be 100% honest. Elliot, Devlin from Hooligans posted an Irish chant from the Irish team, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. And then people were commenting other stuff, and then I suggested a chant that maybe could take over for Hey Baby, just because it's a really deep sounding chant that you could hear literally anywhere. It's easier, and you don't need a drum for it, but drums just to get it started are good. It's a chant that is literally just 2 words, and one of them repeats a bunch. So it's pretty simple for everybody to pick up. I mean, I love all the chants. I mean, I was standing in 237 with Templados, at the home opener, literally surrounded by all of them. And I was right near the drums, and they started doing chants I had never heard, and I just looked at Alexis, or Spider-Man, who was standing next to me, and he was explaining what they were and stuff, and I was like, oh, I really, I like this chant. It was one of the newer Spanish chants. Was it the what chant was it? I don't remember. Yeah, it was one of them. I won't repeat it in English, but it was one of them. I liked it. Yeah, it sounded good. And then Elliot, he was really open to suggestions, and he told me the chant that I was talking about, it's a German chant that is very deafening, and you can pretty much hear it everywhere. So he spread that around, and he got back to me within a couple of hours, and he was like, oh, they like it, blah blah blah. So maybe we'll hear it tomorrow. Who knows? But they're definitely open to hearing what you want to, what you might want to hear in the section. if other people are on board, if you could get people are on board, I mean, we were standing with the drums, yet there's people in 237 up in 237 starting "Hey Baby" 4 times. It's like, what are you doing? Listen to your listen to the rhythm of the drums. It's really easy to pick up what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't necessarily think there's anything that Tim Platos are not doing anything wrong. It's just a matter of people refusing to get on board with what they're playing. That's definitely an issue, and I could tell it frustrates them because they'll look up and be like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Again, Kaylee, if I remember correctly, you were not a big fan of the wave from Sunday.
No.
Oh, neither was I, so I said that. It was terrible.
Oh God.
I think that's what when
No
you're bored.
place in football.
But I think that's got to be one of the things that's so unique about having a supporter section in Yankee Stadium because, this goes back to one of the origins of the of not having capos is that they wanted the sound to be able to come from all different parts of the stadium. They wanted people in not just in the supporter section to feel comfortable cheering and chanting, and I think that's what happened. I sit in 133, which is in front of the supporters, and you can hear guys in 136, 135 starting their own chants, and it's difficult because they're in front of you guys. So if you're not singing loud enough in the supporter section, I hear them sometimes more than I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely if the sections aren't uniting. Like I'll hear definitely because I did capoing last year. It's like, oh, this section, like maybe the lowers of the section are all united, but then you also have the uppers of the sections doing their own chants. So it's like these combating chants and stuff. So it's like not the sound doesn't project as well. So it's like, oh, so then people in like 133 are just doing their own thing because they can't hear and stuff. So it's definitely trying to more unite the sound in the supporters. And it's hard because the way Yankee Stadium is made, it's made for baseball and stuff. And so it's very hard to hear. Like, yeah, if you're in the middle of it, you can hear, but if you're down in the front, you're not gonna, like, people up in the back aren't necessarily gonna hear you and start, like, a chant unless everybody is doing it, and that's kind of the problem. Not everybody will be doing it, and stuff, so it's just like, come on, like.
I noticed, like, I noticed more, especially, I mean, I noticed all last season, but, we sat in 236 last year, close to the 237 side, right against the edge. She would be like 5 rows behind me, being a capo next to the drums, and then I would be down in the front row, surrounded by other blue ladies and other people, and there would be people 5 rows, and I can't hear her because the sound doesn't carry. People aren't chanting. That's who's right in front of her for no reason. If you don't want to chant, at least back all the way up to the top of the supporter section. If you just want to experience or feel the atmosphere, you're not adding to it. You're just kind of diluting it. So I know that was a huge issue on Sunday with I guess a lot of people. Oh, it's the first home game. Let's go to the supporter section and do nothing. And especially in the second half, I mean, it was all last year in the second half, people would push further down into the, the lower part of the supporter section. And, we, even this last home game, we were comfortably like 4 people away from the outside of like the 5th row or 6th row of 237. And we somehow got smushed in further and further and further and further as more people came in. And I get you want to be a part of what's happening, but if you're
actually participating.
Yeah, participating, like you're diluting the sound. If you're not participating, if you don't want to participate, we're not saying you have to get out of the supporter section, but you should probably get out of the supporter section.
I definitely agree. I think that there was something that I feel, going back to the last point where we have like feuding chants going on. Something that we spoke about earlier in this past week actually and we're gonna try. One of the things that we're trying to do to fix it is, so I'm usually towards the front of 237, right, but actually right next to the drums, just to start something up and then have the drums listen so they can follow. Um, but my good friend Edwin, who helps me out, he's usually towards the edge of 236, and being that there's a lot of feuding chants going on in 237 alone, I asked him to see if he can move over towards the back of 237, where we can kind of just look at each other. We have a very good chemistry, so we kind of just look at each other and know what's going on, so that we can unify that and try to fix that. So hopefully tomorrow we're gonna try it out. Hopefully it works out. So that's gonna be in the works. But the chants have been doing pretty well. I really like the chant Kaylee put out. I really like the chant, the German chant she has in the works going on there. The Spanish chants that we're working out. They were actually really good, to a point where I think Brendan Farrell from Hearts of Oak learned the entire Spanish chant and went off and did it all by himself. And it was amazing. So it definitely put a huge smile on her face that the chants are working. And yeah, so it's pretty good.
Well, let's use an example. We got about 15 minutes left, so I want to give you guys some time to just to give some closing comments. But going back to chants, I think the one other time that I think the whole section really was unified was right around the 60th minute. You do something called the Rush Hour Rally. So what other times are there any other times where you can consider like as much of the section in unison as possible?
Yes, and you're gonna hate the answer. Every fucking time people start chanting "Hey baby," I don't know if everybody does it out of hatred for it,
I actually like it.
but every time, the entire supporter section drops what they're doing, and we'll start chanting, and it's the best we ever sound, and it's the worst chant we have.
I like
I
it.
cannot do that chant anymore.
We have, okay, so we do, I think the one that Kaylee was talking about, there's the Es un sentimiento, the one that goes ole, ole, ole. So every time we're trying to do that one every time they score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we score a goal, NYCFC, NYCFC, and then we go right into, if they want to do a Via Maravilla chant, that's cool. But then right after, we're trying to do the Es un sentimiento chant.
Whatever player scores, and then into.
Yeah. That's how we're trying to work it out. So that's something in unison that we're working on, and it's definitely catching. But I think that Kevin Escobar definitely gets for my sense, Kevin Escobar definitely gets the credit for the Rush Hour Rally in putting that together. So hats off to him.
So let's wrap up. Again, I want to start by saying thanks for all you guys for taking the time out to be part of this. This has been really insightful for myself. I'm sure for the other people that are fans of the club and want to know more about the supporters groups. There's been some other supporters groups named that aren't participating, and we should make everybody aware of the fact that we did reach out to as many as possible. Given the fact that this is St. Patrick's Day, it wasn't the best time to get people away from different things. Thursday night's never perfect, but we're hopeful to do this about once a month and give people an opportunity a forum where you can have representatives come out and just talk about your group and what you guys do. So again, let's start with the Blue Ladies, and we'll roll our way up. Final comments. Things you want to say about your work with the club, or just people who might want to find out more about you guys.
Oh boy. We're in a little bit of a transition. Details to be given out later, but we're trying to take the Blue Ladies. Obviously, I said instead of a supporters group, instead of a social club, which most people know that we are, we're trying to take it into a more supporting direction. You know, we're here for the club. That's all I've ever been here for. You know, in the group, it's a good place for women who just want to feel comfortable, obviously talking to other women. So if you're down for that and you want to support the club, I mean, Elliot, you know, really hit the nail on the head. We want to be screaming our lungs out for 90 minutes every game. I mean, every game we do. I had no voice Monday morning.
Supporting for the full 90 and beyond.
And beyond. But, yeah, the best has yet to come.
Well, thanks so much. Elliot?
We are, as Templados, we're barra brava, so that just means we hit what Kaylee just said, and I'll reiterate it. We don't stop chanting. That's been our MO since we started, and that's going to continue to be our MO. We're trying to strengthen and solidify ourselves as first and foremost a family, so that we can be better to help others in cheering and doing what we can for the love of the team and for the love of the sport. We support all ideas that come our way. So we're never closing our door for anybody, but we definitely we don't consider ourselves just any regular supporters club. We don't consider ourselves just any regular supporter. We're again a Barra Brava, a family, and we chant from the minute we get there at the tailgate to the march to the game, halftime and beyond. So definitely that's something that we're trying to represent. But I guess before everything is over, I kind of wanted to thank you guys for this as well, and I wanted to thank you guys for coming over to our event that we did during the preseason game. So we did an event at Cumbre over at Queens. So I just wanted to thank everybody for coming over to that. And you know, it's, I guess like Kaylee said, it's a work in progress, and we're definitely going in a positive direction. So thank you again to Rox again, and thanks for everybody for that.
And then Rox, you know, parting words.
Third rail is the shit. Thirdrail.nyc.
That's all we need to know.
The end.
You know, and Elliot and Kaylee, you guys should probably, you know, share your an email address or contact information so people can find out more about you. Rox just did the same, so why don't you take his lead and share your contact information?
What are we?
You can find us on Twitter, Blue Ladies.
Google the shit out of us.
Blue Ladies and Red.
We don't need to give out the domain name. You find us.
Search.
You know where to find us.
Elliot, you wanna?
God, we wear orange. What else do you need? No, no. We're at the Facebook. Anything that says Los Templados 12, we're on the Facebook. We're on the Instagram. We're on the Twitter. We're on. We have an email. So Los Templados 12 NYCFC at Gmail. So anything Los Templados, you know, you just find us. You already know what we do. You already know how we act. So just find us.
Well, guys, that does it for us. I really appreciate you guys taking time, and we hope to see you guys in next month. So take care.
Thanks.
You.
Peace out.